I can't, because this is America.
But you cannot take us.
Who? Who said?
Me.
What gives you special privilege?
You cannot take us, please.
Who said that?
You cannot do that.
Don't touch my Happening right now in the Bronx.
ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا.
Are you taking videos?
Yep, I am. What happened? You want to ask me why I'm taking video?
Yeah.
Because I can't, because this is America. That's
I'm not
why.
saying don't take it. I
Okay,
said why.
okay. I can't, because this is America.
But you cannot take us.
Who? Who said?
Me.
What gives you special privilege?
You cannot take us, please.
Who said that to
You cannot do that.
Don't touch my phone.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. This is fucking...
صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
King me! King me!
You can't always tell everything that's going on right up front, because if you tell everything that's going on right up front, then your enemy is going to know exactly what you're doing.
I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
So yeah, we have a bigger issue than just Democrats. We have an issue of the American indoctrinated people that just let things like this go. It's been happening for years and years and years, and frankly, I'm sick of it. And so I'm just telling you, they're telling you, and they've been telling you this stuff in front of your face for a really long time.
Our own government working against us. I mean, we've always had the government working against us. We just didn't know it. Hey everybody, how are you today? This is a very interesting thing. So I have several YouTube channels that are running right now, and I am subscribed to all of them through my emails and stuff to see if the live, I'm going live or anything like that goes out. And today, 0. I'm literally still sitting here waiting for my live to YouTube to send out the notification that I'm live. So it's amazing that anybody's even here. Can you totally believe that? Here's what you guys got to do. You guys have got to take my link and you got to spread it all over your social media. Okay. And tell the people to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now, the notification bell doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be notified, obviously, because I'm not being notified on any of my channels that I'm live. And I find that to be totally ridiculous. So I'm live on Facebook. I'm live on Twitch, X, and several YouTube channels. So it's amazing that anyone is even here. Sean, nice to see you over there on Twitch. And then we've got John over there on Rumble. I don't know how many people are actually on Rumble right now. I see there's a few. But yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. I am the most suppressed journalist of every single person that is even doing any kind of live broadcast whatsoever. I want to say hi to Wendy too. She's over there as well. This is going to be a very interesting show. Whether it doesn't matter whether you see it now or later or whatever. It's going to be an interesting show because I think that we need to sound the alarm that this Islamic thing is not just a New York problem. It is an entire United States problem. And because it's an entire United States problem, I don't think that the alarms can be sounded enough. Okay. I am definitely sure by 100% that the churches have failed all the people. The churches have totally failed the people, have failed to show them what's real, and that this is a total threat. The weakening of the church and the constant ignorance of the people about what they're supposed to be doing is astronomical. It's just astronomical to me. And I don't know. I don't think we're to the point where we can actually fix it as an entire United States, but we might be able to fix it for our own self. And if we can fix it for our own self, that's fine. But you're going to find out that what's coming is in your backyard. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you drive across the United States of America, which I have throughout my entire life, I've driven across the United States of America in various, south, middle, north, all kinds of different ways, and through states and everything, on major highways and everything. There was not a time when I was younger that you could see a mosque. It just wasn't a thing. No. But now, as you're traveling throughout the United States, the invasion is real. And to me, it's an accosting of my eyes. And I realize that the United States of America says that you can practice your religion, which is the First Amendment. I get that. I get totally. 100%. I understand that. As long as you're not accosting me with it. That's the problem right there. They are set. The Islamic Caliphate is set to take over the entire United States of America. And we have total dumb people that are out there celebrating. I'm going to show you some of them right now. It is pathetic and ridiculous. This is women doing this. This is how stupid they are. Okay? This was right after Mamdani won.
News. Zoran has won.
Hey, nice industrial tech. Nice to see it. Can you even believe that? Okay, that group of women isn't the only. Did you notice something about them? They are white, stupid women are celebrating this. Look at this one.
The Islamic Caliphate in New York starts now. That means we are all converting to Islam. I've already got one friend converted tonight. So the lines to begin conversion will begin tomorrow morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. There will be mosques being built on every single block. But in the meantime,
not on mine.
Start outside my door. I am happy to help you convert, happy to be there on your journey. If you'd rather do it with somebody else, totally understand. You have to be safe, you have to be comfortable.
Are you kidding me?
But I'm so glad to have you, my brothers, my sisters, my siblings, on this journey.
She better get her Habib or Hajib or whatever it's called, her little scarf thing that goes over her head, because that ain't going to cut it. Nope. They don't like that thing. They're not going to allow you to walk around in your t-shirt and hat with curls hanging out. Nope. That's against the Sharia law. And here's some more of her little hombres.
Starts now.
Who's with them?
Absolutely. Zoran Mamdani, Islamic Caliphate, our brother in Islam, Islamic Caliphate of New York, starts today, baby.
God, there is just something so electric, so satisfying about knowing that my MAGA parents, wherever they are probably having a horrible.
Can you understand that she's literally saying her parents who brought her up right, she's mad. She's like saying, oh, they should be mad. I'm hoping that they're mad because she's literally advocating for the demise of herself.
Night tonight. Oh, I literally just got goosebumps thinking about it. Like they are in such a bad mood probably about the fact that Zoran just won and Prop 50 is gonna pass. Like, wow. God, I'm sorry. It just makes me feel good that my MAGA parents are probably upset right now.
When the day starts with Dick Cheney being dead, it ends with Mamdani winning. Oh, yes. Oh. I'm so happy. Oh my God, I'm so happy.
The dumbness is astounding. I mean, it is literally astounding. Do these women not understand what Sharia law is? It's you're going to be covered completely because Muslim men can't control themselves, okay, at all. I mean, there's self-control is not a thing. They have multiple wives. They sleep around, okay? They have no problem sexually assaulting men or women. Makes no difference. Or animals at that point. I mean, go ask Chunk Yeager. Chunk Yogurt. Chunk Yogurt is what I call him. Chunk Yogurt. He said something about that bestiality. So they don't care. They don't care. Are you kidding me? This is what these guys are giddy about. This, I mean, my brain cannot even compute to that much depravity. It can't even compute at all. And look at this guy. Okay, so this guy is telling them exactly what they're going to have to do.
My sisters, you have to understand that you do not just have to fear the perverted eyes of the men, the evil eyes of the perverted men that are watching you and undressing you with their eyes as you walk down the street, looking so beautiful in your clothes, tight, makeup, perfume, attractive, alluring. It's not just the perverted eyes of the evil men, but rather you also have to understand that you are being watched by the demons from the realm of the jinn as well.
Said the demon.
Well, and many a time it happens. So much I have dealt with these situations, my beloved sisters, that there is a sister and a jinn falls in love with her. So he attaches himself to her. And she is now possessed. And many a time it happens, I have seen that because the jinn is in love now, he destroys the girl's life. He doesn't allow her to get married. Anytime she moves to getting married, he destroys, stops it from happening. Or, if she does get married, he causes problems between the husband and the wife. And they're not happy.
I can't even believe this guy.
Wallahi, I beg you sisters, when you wear that perfume, yes, you're disobeying Allah. Fear Him and fear the next.
You're disobeying Allah. By the way, anybody who wants to pretend that Allah is God, you're insane. There's no correlation between that whatsoever. I mean, look at Ruth and Esther. No.
Life. And that makeup and those tight clothes, if you're not wearing your jilbab as you should be wearing,
jilbab,
then not only are you angering Allah, and if you do not fear Allah, at least fear the fact that the shaitan can possess you. Wallahi, it's not a joke. This is not hocus pocus.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Wallahi, these are things I have seen. I've dealt with them. Personally, I've dealt with these situations.
Oh, so you're a pervert too.
Please cover yourself. Protect yourself. And read your adhkar to make sure that...
I'm just going to tell you right now, I do believe in the covering yourself thing. I mean, but women aren't stupid. They shouldn't be. As far as like covering yourself up. Yeah. But makeup? Are you seriously kidding me? And we're going to run around looking like that? Did you know that there was hey, Joe, nice to see you over there. Did you know that there was a picture not too long ago? You can't find it now because it's been scrubbed from the internet. If you think the internet is forever, it's not actually. It's only forever if they want you to know it. It's not forever if they don't want you to know it. Okay. Because there were tons and tons and tons of photographs of women who have been abused by the Sharia law thing. Their face is completely mutilated because the man who is disciplining her threw acid in her face or tried to kill her, and she somehow survived. They've been beaten, stoned to death for things that aren't even considered, things that wouldn't even be considered sinful at all. I mean, really, biblically speaking. But these guys have such a strict standard on women. They don't care what men can do, whatever they want. But women, no. And as long as you're not professing the fact that you're gay, you could actually go around and boink whatever you want. And I'm using that term because it is derogatory. It is ridiculous. It is so out of the realm of anything that is ever sanity whatsoever. The insanity is coming to your town. if you don't think I'm telling you the truth, then you need to find out what's underneath that mosque. Because back when we were having all of these Muslims, Islamic people running around bombing things. Remember that? That wasn't that long ago. Donald Trump cleaned that up. But during the Democrats, there were people who were doing bombings all the time, running into nightclubs and shooting them up. All kinds of things were happening like that. And we had an ISIS problem. We had a huge terrorist problem in the United States of America from these people. And for some reason, memories are wiped, and all of a sudden, let's embrace the people who are actually causing the problem and put them in high areas. Are you seriously kidding me? The amount of deception is totally ridiculous. I want you to listen to this guy who is Muslim telling you exactly what they're doing.
Through Congress. So before it was by the sword, now it's getting themselves into parliament.
Do you see what I'm saying? He's talking about parliament and the Congress, but he's saying at first we were going to take them over by a war, weaponry, attacks. But now we figure it's better to go Hillary Clinton's way and infiltrate them from within, make them feel guilty because they're stupid.
And then making laws that act as the sword, the Islamophobia law in Canada, M103.
Yeah.
Muslim Brotherhood. I find that there are only two things which are open to our movements. Ballot or bullet, nothing in between.
I used to say that democracy is haram. Now I say participation in democracy is our jihad. That's our
participation in democracy is our jihad, he just told you. Now, we don't have a democracy. It is the Democrats who have a democracy. We have a constitutional republic, which will be lost if people don't start standing up. And I don't care if you say that you're a Christian, you better start acting like one. Because this is not what God put this land here for. And it's time to actually do something. I just don't understand the inaction of Christians to allow this to happen.
Our jihad. We're going to fight not through the bullets, but the ballot.
Going to the ballot and voting is now an obligatory action, fard ayn. And it is a jihad that is now needs to be done because this is our modern jihad. You can elect a person who wants the Sharia.
Because in the United States, what we do know is that in the past election, just this last election, there have been over 800 Muslim candidates running for office.
We may end up with about 50 members of Congress in the next 6 years. That's really the essence of dismantling the system of injustice, is to replace it with the people who represent the Prophet ﷺ.
Are you getting it yet? Anybody? Anybody waking up? Anybody seeing what's going on here? And so when you say that they're not going to run as a Republican, I don't think that's true. In fact, you're lying to yourself. If you think that these people are not going to infiltrate your church, think again. It's going to be like a Mom Donnie who pretends as if he is some kind of, he went through seminary school and he learned all this stuff. And now he's going to be hired as the preacher. Are you kidding me? Isn't it oppressive to force women to cover up and only show their eyeballs? I would think so. This is ridiculous. What are we doing? And I have to say, there are certain religions, and the Jehovah's Witness is one of them. And they have a policy against voting. Even the Amish vote. They have a policy against voting. They have a policy against running for office. They don't participate in anything that has to do with supposedly political stuff. I don't know how many Jehovah's Witnesses there are, but an entire religion or sect of Christianity deciding not to participate, but yet reaping the rewards when it's good and then turning a blind eye when it's not is ridiculous. Okay, I think if you're not going to participate in government, you shouldn't be getting the benefits. I think if you're not going to be participating in, and I mean that, I'm serious. If you're not going to be participating in government policies, then you have no right to even say anything at all. You can't whine about food stamps. You can't whine about housing. You can't whine about gas prices. You can't whine about food prices. In fact, you might as well just shut your pie hole, because I don't want to hear from you. When I was running for office, I had Christian people telling me that I should not be running for office as a Christian. I'm like, why would I do that? God established the land. God established this land. God put in place a constitution. Why wouldn't I want to defend that? God gave us rights that are God-given. If we give them away by not defending them, that's on you. You are now saying to God, sorry, God, I don't want your gift. What do you mean it's a new place for you to find me? I have American Matters Radio Show, the April and June channel, Freedom Workshop. What else? Oh, Liahona Broadcasting. So those are all the YouTube channels. So you'd think you'd get one notification, and I still don't have a notification at all. Isn't that amazing? Let me see if it's in my spam. Nope, it's not. What the heck? This is ridiculous. But I do get a whole bunch of stuff that I shouldn't be getting. All right. Usually find you on the Freedom Workshop. Where are you at now? I'm just asking. I still don't have a notification. Have you guys gotten a notification that I'm even live at all? This is the oppression, suppression. Don't tell the truth. You must shut your mouth. Please don't warn anyone that evil is about to rise up. Now, you're a Liahona? Oh, I say. You never get them? Oh, that's great. You guys might as well check to see if you're even subscribed at all, and if you've got the notification bell even checked. Okay, so I'm going to have to. Oh, you just got yours? Hey, Kevin. Kevin is I didn't even know this. Kevin is a he's a moderator on the channel. My main channel has nothing. Literally went to the channel, live tab, latest item is yesterday's live cast. Well, that's interesting because up here it says that it's on. That is really weird. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I see. Well, let's see if we can save that right now. There. Now we're running on my regular channel. You know, it helps to push the button. Just saying. Yes, America Matters and Liahona Broadcasting both received. It was my main channel. It wasn't even on there. What the heck am I thinking? I don't know. All right, well, it's running now. So I hope you should get that. I want to show you something. Just so now I'm going to go off the screen for a minute, but I want to show you. This is exactly what New York did.
King me! King me!
Just saying. I wondered where you were. Oh, well, see, I wondered what was going on. And now I know. Okay, so thank you guys for telling me that. I'm glad you said that you looked at the channel, because I don't usually look at the channel before I even come on. But so what I was saying is this Islamic threat is real. there were reports, and I did reports on this long ago. You might even remember that they were doing underneath the mosques, underneath all of these mosques, there were storage facilities of weaponry. So they were making arsenals underneath the mosque themselves. So every time now that I look at a mosque, that's exactly what I think. That there is, hey, Carlos Santiago. Nice to see you. Technomag. You know, it was my bad because I didn't put the notification on the right way. That was my fault. Okay, so you're joining the conversation part way in. So every time I look at a mosque, that's exactly what I think of. I think of the arsenals that are underneath there, the close proximity that these are to the neighbors, the neighboring vicinity. What's going to happen when they actually do rise up? Okay. And the reason I'm saying what's going to happen when they do rise up is because you don't know how many people actually go to that particular mosque, or you don't know where they're going to call people in to go to that mosque so that they can go down, get those weapons and come out. And then the sleeper cell is triggered. That's what's about to happen. Now, I'm so glad that I didn't play this earlier. Yeah, Sharia is going to come to your neighborhood if you don't stop it, for sure. So listen to this FBI agent.
To all Islamic doctrine is to ensure that there is an Islamic state throughout the entire world called a caliphate, and under that, Sharia or Islamic law is the law of the land. That's it. Islam is no more complicated than that. Islam breaks the entire world into two parts. The Dar al-Islam, where Sharia is the law of the land, and the Dar al-Harb, the house or abode of war, where there is not Sharia as the law of the land. The function of Islam is to eliminate the Dar al-Harb until the entire world is a Dar al-Islam. And the vehicle to do that is called what? Jihad, which in 100% of all published Islamic law is only defined as warfare against non-Muslims. So let's just put that on the line. And so we're here talking national security issues. We have people here that are running for the office of President of the United States, and we have to begin there. And what I would put forth is that since, and actually prior to, but since 9/11, our entire national security apparatus has been unprofessional in its approach to this war, from the 4-star generals to the office of the president, to the national security staff, to the leaders of DHS when it was created, the FBI, the CIA, and other agencies. Because we have said this has nothing to do with Islam, despite the fact that our warfighting doctrine says when you analyze an enemy, you start with who he says he is and why he's fighting.
Right.
And 100% of this enemy that we're facing, from the jihadi in Chattanooga to the 9/11 hijackers and everybody before and in between, have all said we're Muslims waging jihad in the cause of Allah in order to impose Islamic law and establish caliphate, period.
That's right.
So that's what it is. And if we look in Islamic law, authoritative Islamic law, the kind you get at mosque bookstores, not at Barnes & Noble, you will see that 100% of them say that jihad is warfare against non-Muslims. And it's total warfare. It's not just guns and bombs. It's psychological warfare. It is political warfare. It's subversion. It is the whole 9 yards. It's total warfare, something that our DOD has not been practicing. I would say you'd have to go back towards Reagan administration and maybe even beyond that. Complete and total war against non-Muslims.
I don't see how you can get any clearer than clear, okay? Because he's literally telling you exactly what they're doing. Let me play this video. Some of you guys were already in here when I played this earlier, but I want to play it now because the channel is now, I put the other channel on there. Oh, I want to show you this one here.
in very subtle ways,
I didn't play this one earlier.
the extremist that he really is, that he tried to paint down a little bit in the last few weeks of the election. But I think the most important story for everybody to read today is up on justthenews.com. It was written by my extraordinary colleague, Jerry Dunleavy, great investigative reporter. He got inside the DSA New York, the group, which is the group that Mamdani belonged to before he started to distance himself. And they had a meeting this weekend that they allowed Jerry to attend. And you can see what they talked about. They are going to force the city of New York to divest from anything that is Jewish. They're going to stop the New York Police Department from training and getting certain capabilities that they don't like. They're going to regulate land sales. You may not be able to sell your piece of land in the future to who you want if the mayor doesn't like that. And then there's a lot of other agendas that are all in there. The purpose of this meeting was to make sure that the group that helped elect Mamdani in the primary and last night will have a seat at the table and will pressure Mamdani until he delivers what he told them privately he would deliver. The wish list looks like something from a Soviet republic, not something from an American capitalist city like New York City. That is the Mamdani you're going to see from this point forward.
I agree.
Not the jovial, cool-looking kid from New York that talked a good game. This is a guy that is beholden to the socialists who got him in office, and their values are very different from those that built the Big Apple.
Which is now the Big Red Apple. Yeah, communism is coming to a city near you. Here's something that happened in New York. This was in Times Square. Okay, it wasn't even 24 hours. And look.
صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
This is are you literally kidding me? That's Times Square. Did you ever think that Times Square would look like that ever? Doesn't he take an oath to support the Constitution? Yeah, absolutely. But their whole shtick is they can lie. So that's what I'm saying. If you think this isn't going to happen and you don't think that they're going to actually try to get their foot in the door, they will. And it spreads like wildfire. It's just mind-boggling that the Christian community would even allow it. But see, that's the problem with America right now. The Christians have been taught not to do anything. The Christians have been taught that their church is just a place for a social hour and drinking coffee and donuts and putting the kids in a class every now and then to get them out of your hair for about an hour or two. That's pretty much what church is today. A guy standing up there giving you flowery speeches, a music concert, a guy who's got ripped jeans pretending he's one of the people, getting a whole bunch of money, and then doing warm fuzzy events. That's what church is today. I heard he would not swear an oath to the Constitution. I don't know. We're not going to know anything until he actually gets up there, because I don't think that it makes any difference what he says out of his pie hole. Because no matter what he says, it's going to be a lie anyway until he starts telling the truth is the only reason we're here today is for jihad, and we're doing it. We're infiltrating from within. Personally, I have to agree with the people who now are saying there is a problem with the Constitution. There is. It should have said that if you're not born and raised in the United States of America, then you can't run for office. I'm starting to think that way. At first I was like, well, I don't know. But to me, if there was a threat of deportation for doing what they're doing, which is trying to actually invade the country, which is what they've done, go out there and scream out how they're going to take over everybody's house, okay, This to me is absolutely against the oath that they took to come to the United States in the first place. Their immigration oath. I can pull it up for you. And I'll tell you exactly what it says. Because it's very thorough. You know, there's a naturalization oath that you have to say, and this is what it is. I hereby declare an oath that I absolutely and entirely, in fact, I'm going to put it up here so you can read along with me. All right. Here it is, right here. I hereby declare an oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty of whom or which I have hereto been a subject or citizen. Ilhan Omar rings a bell. She has her allegiance in Somalia, not the United States of America. That I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law. That I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by the law. That I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law. And that I take this obligation freely and without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. I want to know exactly what is it that these people are actually saying. Trump can't do anything about it. Marco Rubio can. Marco Rubio can actually do something about it. Marco Rubio can take all their files and he can say, okay, see this video here? See this one here? See this one here? See these videos, all these videos, see all your speeches? That's in direct contradiction with your oath that you took to become a citizen of the United States. And frankly, we're deporting you now. I don't care what you have to say. You said it all on video. Marco Rubio could take care of it right now. Now, what Trump should do is what this guy is suggesting. I'm going to show you what this guy is suggesting, and I think he's completely right. Let me see if I can find. Oh, here he is. Here he is.
I asked President Donald J. Trump to ban Sharia law in America, in Puerto Rico, and across all U.S. territories.
You don't like our laws? Get the fuck out of America!
Assimilate or leave. This is not hate. What we say is with truth and love. We will not be silent. You will not use the Constitution against us. You will not use your religion against us. Practice your religion, but it's not going to supersede America, the Constitution, and the people that we are. We love the melting pot. This is America, and it's going to stay that way. If you can't assimilate, you got to go. That's it. You got to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
No communismo. No to communismo. No to communismo.
No communists. No communists. We want the police. We need you guys. We need the police. No communists. We need the police.
America. 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 USA. USA. America. American President Donald J. Trump. I asked President Donald J. Trump to revoke the citizenship of Zohran Mamdani and his father, Mahmoud Mamdani. Have them removed from America as soon as possible. Thank you. God bless New York and God bless America.
Well, New York, sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You guys are, let me say, you're hanging on by your fingernails at this point. Yeah, I do think that there is someone in Congress who has put in a bill to have no Sharia law in the United States of America or any of its territories. I do think that is true. I think it was even before Mamdani even got there, and I'm hoping that that happens. Now, if he has to make an executive order, I guess that's fine. But what's interesting about Trump's executive orders, they weren't overturned by the last debacle that tried to have a coup over the entire United States of America. So that is interesting. Now, listen to what this guy has to say. We saw some of what he was saying yesterday, but there's more.
Religious refugee, increase the number of your followers and demand political accommodation, and then eliminate the previous culture. So I was speaking in Detroit area.
This is what he was doing.
And afterwards, had people come up and visit around the book table, and they were telling me about a lady who had a ministry to pregnant mothers. So she shows up at a Muslim house, has a little present. Well, out of a bedroom comes another pregnant Muslim mom. Out of a bedroom comes another pregnant Muslim mom. Out of a bedroom comes another pregnant Muslim mom, all pregnant by the same man.
Yep.
He's practicing Sharia law in his house. And then someone else says, oh yeah, Fazl.
That's what all of those women, were sitting there and saying, hooray. Really?
Street has a wife in each one.
Where was this?
In Detroit area. The wives go down to the welfare office and say their husband's not around. He goes and visits them, and the more kids they have, the larger the checks get. And he's living like a king at state expense, and all the kids playing in the middle of the street are his children. He's practicing Sharia law on his block. They take over several more blocks, and they vote in the school board. And now they have their Sharia in the schools. And then they take over more blocks. They vote in the police department, fire department. And in Hamtramck, Detroit, they vote in the majority of the city council. They have their minarets, their calls to prayer 5 times a day. No.
Now, he's talking about a place where they have this pro-Islamic Palestine meeting, okay? He's talking about an actual place. And Rashida Tlaib, it's in her district. And they have terrorist speakers get up and speak, talking about how they're going to take over the United States of America.
No different than Pakistan. So we see the first ones come in as immigrants, and they're nice, and they're so nice, everybody says they're nice, nothing to fear, let more in, more come in, they gravitate together, form a community. Imam shows up and says, okay, you need to start getting a little more serious about this, more fundamental. Then the burqas start appearing, people say the neighborhood's changing, they move out, more Muslims move in, and then there's always that stickler that says, I refuse to move out. There's random violence from Muslim youth.
That's right.
And there's no witnesses, because no Muslim family dare testify against another Muslim family on behalf of some kafir infidel that's hanging in the neighborhood.
This is why I keep telling you guys, let them fester in their own place. Do not stay in a place that is basically a cancer on society. Don't do it. But I am going to tell you this for sure. If you leave your state and you think that you're going to come to my state or anybody else's state and bring your crap with you, you might as well forget it again. Because I'm not going to have in my area where I live, I'm not going to be too kind to someone from California coming in here and trying to make it California or trying to make it New York or something like that. And that's what happens. That's what happened to Colorado. That's what's happening to Texas right now. Is the Californians moved from California because they didn't like Gavin Newsom. And so what happened? They infiltrated Colorado, and now it is ridiculous, okay? You can't even go camping out in the wilderness like you used to in Colorado, because the little trails that go through Colorado now are infiltrated by the cartel walking on trails from one location to another. It's not even safe anymore. You have clusters of Californians that have taken over communities that once used to be very nice in Colorado. I know, because I lived there for 30 years. They were so nice, so friendly. Yeah, people like nature, they like hiking, all that kind of stuff, but they come in and they infiltrate, and then they get elected to these different things because they don't like what you're doing, which is the whole reason they moved there. And then the people are so nice, they don't want to say anything against them. Well, I'm saying something against you right now. Don't move to my area and think that you're not going to assimilate, because I'm not going to change what I'm doing to accommodate you. Years ago, not very many years ago, but about 5 or 6 years ago, I had someone who she said that she needed to get out of California, and that's fine. That's great. So she comes to Missouri, And, I have her, we're driving around doing stuff, and I get out to put gas in my vehicle, and she just almost had a heart attack because I did not have my hand on the actual gas pump while it's putting gas in my car. And she said, you need to have your hand on the gas pump. I said, why would I do that? She said, well, what if something happens? I said, well, here's some logic for you. What if something did happen and I did have my hand on there? Wouldn't that be stupid? Shouldn't I put it in there and then go somewhere else to let it fill up? If that's your philosophy, you see what I'm saying? The logic doesn't apply. And you're not going to come to my community and try to make the laws where there's something that is ridiculous. I think it's not, it shouldn't even be, I'm just not going to listen to you because you don't have any logic in your head. Your brain has fried from, I don't know, California air, the total amount of ridiculous that floats through there in conversation. I don't know, but I don't want it in my community. I don't. They have brought their Californication to Texas because they wanted to get away, but yet they want to change our state. I know. And what they do is they infiltrate the government. So the Christians sit there and go, oh, I don't think you should run for office. Don't run for office. No, that's not what God wants you to do. And so what happens? An evil person or a person whose mind is twisted absolutely says, I'm going to run for office. So now what do you have? You got two people you don't want. So when you say it's the lesser of two evils, it didn't have to be. But the Christians decided that they were going to sit this one out. And that went out, and that went out, and that went out, and that went out. They decided they weren't going to go to the city council meetings and say something. They decided that it's just too much trouble. But guess what? They'll certainly run out of church to go to the football game. Absolutely. They will take little Johnny to every single solitary sports game that there is, and little Susie to all of her cheerleading and her dance classes and her aerobics or acrobats or whatever. Really? You're dedicated to that, but you're not dedicated to making sure that the government that is in place right now is run by Christian people. So then you get infiltrators into your church and you go, well, he's got to be good. He's got to be a good person because he's sitting in church. No, I know a lot of people who are sitting in church that right now are not good people. I already know they're not good people. I know what they do behind the scenes. I've seen what they do. I've seen the stuff that they said. They didn't know when they met me, but I certainly know how they are. And then what do? They go sit in a pew and they go, yeah, today I'm shaking hands with all the people. That's exactly what I do. And then we have people sitting in the pulpit saying, this is how we need to change society. We should be doing this. We should be doing that. We should be doing this. But when you go up and you ask that preacher, what is your actual plan? Have you guys all gotten together and made a plan? I asked that to a couple of preachers one time. They gave great speeches, sermons that just, yeah, let's go do it. Okay, so what is your plan? Do you have it written out on paper? Isn't that how businesses operate? All these people are businessmen. What do you do with your business? Did you not lay it out and say, okay, you're going to be in charge of this. You're going to be in charge of that. You're going to be in charge of this. This is what we're going to do in our community. I can guarantee you that's what the Muslims are doing. Instead, we're sitting around having coffee and donuts and listening to concerts while we're supposed to be in church. We're telling each other, oh, don't run for office, because, you got some bad things in your past, so maybe you shouldn't do that. Everybody's got bad things in their past. If you don't have something bad in your past, you probably didn't learn anything, and you're probably not a person that should be in office anyway. 501c3 churches are just, that is such a misnomer. They don't have to be 501c3s. But you got pastors who are sitting there because somebody's told them so, because they said so. that they can't sit there and talk about political things. You can absolutely talk about political things. The only thing that you can't do is endorse one candidate. That you can't do. But everything else is on the table. Why are we stopping ourselves because of 501c3? Besides that, churches don't need a 501c3. The only reason they have a 501c3 is because their congregants insist on it in order to give them money. And you don't need it. You don't even need that. The people who are insisting on that, you should be telling them, hey, it's tax deductible anyway. All I got to do is write you a receipt. You can throw it in there with your other receipts. You know, you can manage all your rich money with a receipt because the IRS already recognizes it's a church. So this is what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't even want to hear Christians say, I'm a Christian. And then in the next breath, well, I'm a Democrat. Excuse me? That the first thing that means is you're for abortion. And some of these are. Some of these Christians say, I'm a Christian. I could be a Christian and a Democrat. Really? Their main thing is abortion. Their main thing is transgender children. Chopping off body parts, putting on new ones. Really? Letting any illegal in to murder, rape, and pillage. Allowing Islam to flourish. Criminals out of prison. Really? I'm just like, don't tell me you're a Democrat, because the first thing that I'm going to say is, so you're telling me you have no morals. No morals, no ethics, no nothing. It's a free-for-all inside your head. That is a place I don't want to be. And I don't even want to be a friend of yours. I don't want to even be in the presence of you. I do think that Christ was not tolerant. He didn't tolerate that stuff. It's one thing if somebody's humble and, they're going, I think I need to rethink this thing. Well, I don't think that you should be stopping to go to church. I think you should make a new group, like have people over to your house, whatever. I mean, for me, any church group for me is 45 minutes away. That's why I have a church on my property. In fact, that if you can hear, you probably can't, but I can hear the construction over there. They're building the front on the church right now, because I'm not going to stop going to church. I'm not going to stop associating with the saints, associating with people who are going to help you to be good, keep on that straight and narrow path. You can't do that, because that's why the Bible says to meet together often. So you guys, I'm just going to throw that page out. Yeah, let's just throw that page out. That way I can have my own custom Bible, and it fits me. Really? That is not the way Christianity works. Christianity means that you are trying to be following the scriptures, not following this guy over there because he happens to be the preacher for now until he's fired because he didn't go by whatever the board wanted. It's time to stand up, people. It's time to make sure that your area, just take care of your area. You can't take care of the entire world. You can't take care of the entire United States of America. I think she's right there. This is on everyone's doorstep all across America. Every voice should be lifted up right now in their state. I agree. And it should be coming from the Christians for sure. I know some Christians. I know Christians that go out and they go to Trump rallies and they go to, patriotic things. And, because I went to the car rallies with them. I went to the Trump events with them. I went to all these different things that are political. I've gone to meetings with them and all that kind of stuff. But the handful of Christians that actually do something, and the vast majority who don't, they're supposed to be the vigilant ones. The ones who are valiant to the end are going to be the ones that are actually active. The other ones are just bench sitters. They just pew warmers. And that doesn't cut it. That is not valiant till the end. Now, if the people who are can't go out there and they're not going to be able to march in a protest, they're not going to be able to hold signs on the street, all those kinds of things. Like, see, Star is a support person. That is valiant. That is active. She posts stuff all the time. All the time. She participates every minute she gets the chance. She does more than a pew warmer. And I know because she's been on this channel for years. So that's what I'm saying. Just because if you're a paraplegic, you can still do something. If you're homebound, you can still do something. Every one of these people can still do something. That's what you do. You have to be valiant till the end. You cannot just be a bench warmer. It's time to get in the game. And I'm going to encourage every single one of you to go to your local meetings, whatever they are, and start getting active. Because if you don't, you're going to be in New York City pretty soon. And you're going to find those sleeper cells are going to be at your back door before you know it. This is not the time for sitting around. This is the time to actually make sure that the United States of America stays in the possession of those who are Christian.